Today we're going to talk about what is entitled the Ein Sof YHVH grid matrix in Elohim of creation. This relates to the Sefirot tree of life in terms of manifestation. Starting with Ein Sof. Ein Sof is what most people refer to as God. Ein Sof is the limitless, boundless, imperceivable, dwelling in unapproachable light. It has no end, no bound to its being, to his being, no gender, him or her, no limit, no level, no scale, scaleless. Couldn't even call this entity, couldn't call it him, her, a being, because it's endless. The Ein Sof is endless. All creation, all life, everything permeates, exudes from the Ein Sof. And that relates to the four worlds of the tree of life, the four worlds of creation. We have the Absolute that firstly is most closest to the Ein Sof. It emerges from the Ein Sof, the Absolute. And you have the Birya. Then you have the Yetzirah. Then you have the Asya, where the physical land in humanity, humans, and our natural creation resides. And that is what surrounds this skeleton, as I mentioned, skeleton, that Adam Kaman skeleton of the tree of life with the 10 emanations. Of the right side of the tree of life and the left side of the tree of life. The right side of the tree of life we have, which is particularly relates to the mercy side, grace side, where the angelic, holy angelic, righteous angels operate on. And then you have the left side of the tree of life that the fallen demonic angels may cling on to, particularly the grade of judgment, Gebarah. Then I utilize this because this all relates and permeates back to the will of God. Now, relating to the will of God, as we talked about the Ein Sof, all things exude from the Ein Sof, who is God. But the God has manifested himself. If he stayed as just the Ein Sof, nobody would know who he is. There would be no separateness, no individualization. So that's why we have some things that were touched as the Elohim, which is also God. But it's Elohim in relation to the collaboration of mankind, the collaboration of creation of the universe. So switching back to the name of God, YHVH. This YHVH, the name gave to Moses, actually is the cosmic grid, the cosmic matrix. See, all of creation, past, present, and future is encoded. That which was and is to come is encoded, weaved on and in this name. This name in all of creation, past, present, future, space, and time is wrapped up in this name, wrapped up in this fabric of time and space, and all of creation that what was and is and will be, exudes, follows from this name and this cosmic grid, this cosmic matrix of the YHVH name. The reason why is in YHVH is four-letter name of God, which they call the unpronounceable name of God. This relates to four corners of the earth, four corners of the universe, relates to the four cherubim, which are also 12, and the four camps of Israel, which are 12 tribes of Israel. And with that, the four extends out into 12, and the 12 extends out to 72 permutations. So when you have this, you're looking at a multi-pointed star, this cosmic grid matrix, this toroidal field in all of creation. And the thing is that all of creation and time operates on the dynamics of periodicity, which is beginning and ending that starts another beginning. It goes into another end. It starts another beginning on to infinity. And that's all of creation, all of physics, all of space and time operates on cycles, seasons. 4 corners of the earth, 4 seasons of the earth. The 12 constellations of the zodiac are cyclical. They're operated based on periodicity. And the thing about this is a little nugget, a little segment is that we are here on earth, here within these spheres, and we're meant to evolve past these 12 constellations. We're meant to evolve past our limited local universe, the Milky Way, the galaxy. We are encased here as long as we do not evolve past the lessons of the 12 constellations of the zodiac, which are stories that relates to Christ and his DNA, to become like him, to become one with him. God, Elohim, the Ein Sof, YHVH, doesn't want, it doesn't benefit the universe and all the galaxies and the planets for us as humans to go to and venture on into other universes and other planets if we are still in a fallen state, though some people may have done that in spirits, but in the flesh is different. So unless we have evolved and become one with Christ and taken on the encapsulation and the totality of the 12 constellations of zodiac, which is Christ, that cosmic gospel story written in the stars, until we have that DNA a part of us, one with us, we credited to be able to permeate, venture into other universes, because then we won't destroy those other universes. We won't be able to seed those other universes and planets with fallen, corrupt DNA characteristics, mentality, vibes, and energy. So we'll continue to go on these cyclical patterns until we finally, as a humanity, come to the realization of being one with Christ. You see. Now getting to the Elohim. Now Elohim is plural, plurality of God. Now this is God, but God works through his creation, that being spiritual and natural orders. So Elohim is a conglomeration of at the highest level of God, of course, that permeates, is within all the sectors of the Elohim. But you also have the individualization of the Elohim related to the spiritual forces, meaning the angelic hierarchies, both on the right and the left side of the tree of life. And then descending down into that relates to the constellations, the angels relate to the constellations and work with constellations, vice versa. And descend down into creation, to the natural order, as in the physical universe, creation, nature, Mother Earth, and humanity, humans. So humanity, humans, and the spiritual forces, angelic hierarchies, and left and right side of tree of life, they are also all part of the Elohim. They are also a part of the Elohim, you see. Now, what we all know that what is in heaven is meant to be mirrored on earth, and what is on earth is meant to be mirrored in heaven. It's supposed to become one, so that what is in heaven, what is in the mind of God, what is in the eternal plan of God, is supposed to be mirrored down to the earth. Now, we know that the heavens influence the earth, constellations influence the earth, and the angelic hierarchies and left and right side of the tree of life influence the earth, but it's also humans as part of this Elohim canopy, though we are in a temporary in-between period in our flesh. It is part of our duties to stir the right side of the tree of life, to activate the angelic forces, the holy angelic forces, to cause righteousness, peace, justice, holiness, and restoration upon the earth, to bring us to the millennium kingdom. But the thing is that most of creation, most of humanity, they have aligned with the evil realm, So they are stirring, whether consciously or unconsciously or subconsciously, stirring the left side of the tree of life by their unrighteous acts, by their words, thoughts, emanations, by their policies and rules, by their unjust killings, abortions, all their types of rituals, causes the left side of the tree of life to be activated. This relates also to the difference between Metatron and Metatron. When you have the humanity stirring the left side of the tree of life, Metatron, the right side of the tree of life, and Shekinah is weakened, goes into exile. And so therefore that causes the waxing of the left side of the tree of life and the demonic forces to take center fold and have their influence upon the earth, causing death, destruction, devastation, unrighteousness, and all types of corrupt ruling. But when the people of God and the people of earth start to stir the right side of the tree of life, they are causing a waxing of the Shekinah, causing a waxing of Metatron, and a waning of the left side of the tree of life, which disempowers and weakens the satanic forces so they cannot have influence upon the earth. So this is the whole flux that we're in today, especially now, post 2020, more than ever. So this also relates to the Sefirot tree of life, because that is what the manifestation is all about. So you have the left side and the right side of the tree of life, and all of these four worlds of the Hazalut, the Miriah, the Yetzirah, and the Asiyah. These are four worlds of manifestation. And where we play a part is that though we are on the surface level at the bottom of Esra, we have an important duty to stir the heavens, seed the heavens, as I mentioned, that we are macrocosmic expanses. We stir and seed the macrocosmic heavens of the heavenly realms from our position of authority and placement in Christ, one seed, one soul, one flesh with Christ. We reign and rule as governors over the tree of life, governing over the left and the right side of the tree of life, of the affairs of mankind, the nation's world, and the cosmos. We're able to do this as we have this ecclesia government that is according to the pattern of New Jerusalem, according to the pattern of the new heavens and the earth, the prophecy age to come, and the new creation body, which that is encoded, dormant within our DNA, ready to be awakened to the divine nature of God in full stature of Christ. To recap, what people mentioned about God, we're talking about the Ein Sof, limitless, boundless, inconceivable, dwelling in a butch light. There's no bound, there's no limit, no scale. That is, everything permeates, everything exudes and comes from the Ein Sof. That's luminous energy. Then we have the YHVH, which is the cosmic grid matrix. This is not just a name. This is where all of creation comes from. This cosmic grid of the universe is YHVH. He is the universe. The universe exists inside him. You see. He is space in time, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and end, first and last, the Aleph Tav, the one who was and is to come. That's YHVH. As it says in Hebrew, it relates to time, it relates to something that will be, it relates to something that was, and something that is, it relates to a becoming of creation, becoming of reality, becoming of all possibilities and probabilities. This is the YHVH. God is in everything, in all times and everywhere. YHVH is the cosmic grid matrix that creation emerges from. That all of creation time and all of the universe is encoded and weaved in this name. And this name is a cosmic grid matrix, toroidal, multi-pointed star. We will start off with the four corners, the four different points, north, south, east, and west. Then they are really, the 4 is 12. 4 and the 12 extends out to 72 permutations. So we were talking about a multi-pointed star here, this pulsating star of the universe. And Elohim, it relates to, which is also God. God is in all the segments of the Elohim, all the actions of the Elohim, the will of that. Everything that the Elohim does permeates from God, YHVH and Ein Sof. So what we can do in our life every day is what side of the tree of life are you stirring? Whether through your actions, your deeds, your emanations, your words, your thoughts, through the policies and laws that the government enacts and puts into law, through the type of content, movies and television that is propagated into the minds of the people, changes the consciousness of mankind. This affects the heavenlies, and then that affects cyclical effect, a ricocheting effect echoes back to us. It affects us. What we emanate, they use as fuel to affect our world, you see. So if you want to get good, then you need to emanate good. You need to become that which you want to attract, you see. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.